Next on Worcester News tonight, president of the Pawtucket Red Sox speaking out tonight about the team coming to Worcester and future renovations to Kelley Square. Plus, helping breast cancer patients look and feel their best. The Women's Image Center is working to do just that. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Those stories in just a moment, but we begin in Worcester tonight, where a 13-year-old girl was taken to the hospital after she was allegedly struck by a Jeep. According to police, the incident happened near 229 Park Avenue. The preliminary investigation shows the driver of the Jeep struck the girl after switching lanes to avoid hitting a car in front of him who had slowed down quickly. Police say the girl suffered a laceration to her head, but is said to be in good condition. The crash is under investigation. For nearly 2 months, the city of Worcester has been buzzing over the Paw Sox coming to the Canal District. The deal has gained approval from City Council and all of the necessary organizations, and the city is moving forward on building a stadium. Tonight, we're hearing from the team's president on what the last few weeks have been like. Our Cam Jandro sat down with him today and has those answers. Cam?
Anna, a AAA ball team is uncharted territory for the city of Worcester. It's also uncharted territory for the Paw Sox because they were in the same location for nearly half a century. Well, today I sat down with team president Charles Steinberg and we discussed what it's been like for the last few months.
The Paw Sox are set to take the field in Worcester for the first time in April of 2021. Nearly 2 months after the announcement was made official, Paw Sox president Charles Steinberg says the move to the city has been an emotional roller coaster.
In the morning, we're delivering a letter to the mayor of Pawtucket saying we're going to go to Worcester. You get in the car, you come up to Worcester, your spirits are lifted sky high by the ovations and the welcome.
The city has also hired a project manager and are closer to starting construction on Polar Park, which is set to start in July. Steinberg says the next step is listening to what people want in the stadium.
We want the ideas. We're baseball fans, but we want ideas from everyone.
More than $200 million in development will completely redesign the Canal District. Kelley Square is also set to be worked on. But the Paw Sox president says he'll leave the issue of the intersection with the pros.
It's pretty wild. I leave that to the traffic engineers. But I think there's a health in hearing people.
Steinberg never envisioned leaving Pawtucket, but he started to think about it more when the front offices of McCoy Stadium started getting loads of postcards.
You shouldn't underestimate when 10,000 people send you postcards. That's not lost on us, and those postcards are not lost. We have them all. They're right there in our office in Pawtucket.
And about the team's actual name.
We are the Worcester Red Sox, but it is not a fait accompli that the nickname would be the Woo Sox.
Now Steinberg says a nickname will come in time, but right now they're looking at many options and are even considering partnering with a local landmark or organization and put a Worcester twist on the nickname. And once again, you can go to Polar Park's website and submit your ideas. Anna?
Exciting stuff. Thanks, Cam. The New England LGBTQ Film Festival kicked off tonight at the Hanover Theater in Worcester. The 4-day-long festival features 15 different screenings, showing films from all over the world. The films represent many different styles, including dramas, musicals, and comedies. Tuesday, Worcester announced it had been awarded a perfect score of 100 by the nation's largest LGBTQ civil rights organization for the 5th year in a row. Producer James Duggan says the rating played a major role in bringing the festival to the city.
100% score from HRC, we would not be here. It's so important that cities recognize who we are and expand that diversity and inclusion that we will not go to a city that does not have 100% HRC rating.
The film festival also falls on National Coming Out Day. Duggan says it's an important day for those who have come out as well as those who have yet to.
It's an opportunity to have the courage and the stamina to stand up to be true to who they are.
The film festival will run through Sunday, October 14th. Worcester is seeing an increase in voter registration this election season. It could be the result of the fight around a recent Supreme Court appointment or due to more celebrities calling on young people to vote. But the city is also working on an effort to increase participation. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
Voter registration numbers are up in Worcester.
Our numbers this year have gone up tremendously. They're kind of in line with what we had in 2016.
Assistant City Clerk Nico Vangelli says it's partially due to the city's efforts. The Election Commission has gotten hundreds of students to register by visiting all 7 high schools.
So far, we've collected about 550 registrations, and a lot of them are, students are going to be 18 by November 6th. And also students who are going to be 18 next year, but what we're doing is we're taking advantage of pre-registration, and we're pre-registering them to vote for the upcoming elections in future.
Another factor increasing registration numbers across the nation is the controversy surrounding the Kavanaugh Supreme Court appointment and a call from Taylor Swift to get out and vote.
Celebrities that we have out there do play an important role in getting people's attention. So by just grabbing their attention, we've seen a massive spike of registrations the last few days.
Kavanaugh's a polarizing figure, literally rushed the process within a week. So I think both sides left there with some sour grapes, and I think that's translating into the November election.
Political analyst Guy Glotis says the nation's divide will lead to a larger turnout this midterm election.
There's a lot of division right now across this nation, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. In my opinion, it's really recharged the electorate. It's got younger people engaged in the political process.
Voter registration ends on October 17th. Vangelli says he hopes the high numbers continue with the voter turnout in November.
Usually the voter registration, it's kind of an indication of how many voters we can expect at the polls on November 6th. But thus far, it looks very promising, and we're just going to hope that the turnout does show up on election day.
The city will be participating in early voting again this year. It will begin on October 22nd. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
An almost 200-year-old bell needs repair in the town of Paxton. The church had to stop using it because it's damaged, and ringing the bell could make the situation even worse. Our Chandler Walsh explains.
A winding, tight walk to the steeple at Paxton's First Congregational Church leads to a historical bell. It was made in Paul Revere's foundry and installed in 1831.
It's history. It's so old. It's a part of who the church is. It rings every hour, so everyone in the town hears the bell.
Last month, the church discovered the bell has serious structural problems. Reverend Jane Willen says the bell is tilted and is being damaged every time it rings. It can no longer be rung manually because the wheel which pulls the rope is broken.
It's an absolute historic treasure. And so the idea that we might just let it fall into disrepair would be a tragedy.
The church says the town owns the bell and is responsible for repairs and maintenance. Willen is concerned about what could happen if nothing is done.
It could conceivably fall down. It could fall out of the steeple, and that would be horrible. But I think that would be quite a long time coming.
James Stone is the church historian and has been a member for 6 decades. He says the original Paul Revere bell was brought to the town by oxen and has been part of the church's history ever since.
Bell used to be rung when there was a fire in town, and every day at curfew at 9 o'clock, the section of the church would ring the bell. And when anybody died, they would ring the bell for every year of his age.
Paxton's Board of Selectmen chair says they're taking the matter seriously and will add it to the next budget. Willen says the bell is central to life in Paxton and should be a part of its future.
It's possible now to restore it, but if we wait too long, we won't be able to.
That was our Chandler Walsh reporting. Town leaders in Dudley are looking to voters this fall to come up with an additional $225,000 for a new fire station. Several unforeseen issues have affected construction on the new building. The $6.5 million project to rebuild and expand the town's 58-year-old station has already overrun its budget and is now 7 weeks behind schedule. Taxpayers could be asked to help make up the difference. A town meeting is set for 7 p.m. October 29th at Shepherd Hill Regional High School. UPS is looking to the town of Grafton for an 800,000 square foot distribution facility. The town says the United Parcel Service facility would overlap into Shrewsbury and could create up to 1,500 jobs and millions in tax revenue. Town leaders say the project is in its early stages and it depends on the company's needs. UPS is expected to vote by the end of 2018 on whether they will buy the land. For 2 decades, the Women's Image Center in Worcester has been working to help women diagnosed with breast cancer. Whether it's before, during, or after treatment, owner Mary Ephraim says they're able to help all patients feel better about themselves. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
Mary Ephraim's goal is to help women feel their best while going through breast cancer treatment. She opened the Women's Image Center in Worcester and Leominster more than 20 years ago.
Just try to make it so that a woman can feel at ease and know it will be okay.
The healthcare boutique makes custom breast prostheses for women who undergo a mastectomy or lumpectomy and provide wigs for patients who lose their hair. With a doctor's recommendation, women can come in before and after surgery to figure out what their best option is.
Women leave here very whole again. It feels like a privilege to work with these amazing women.
The prosthetic fits in a woman's bra. The boutique uses a 3D scanner to make the prosthetic look and feel real, including picking out the right skin color, and a woman can get their prosthetic in about 4 weeks.
We can get very sophisticated with our 3D scanner, which will be 50% lighter and cooler than an off-the-shelf prosthetic, and it's custom made for the woman's own unique surgical site.
For many women going through surgery, it can be a scary time. Ephraim says when they leave the office, they are so grateful to look like themselves again.
My job is very uplifting and positive because every day I see women, they get through their treatment and they go live their life.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.